Oh, good morning, good evening, good anytime. Are you by chance looking for a quarantine serenade? You are. Okay, this is the place then. Bob, this is the place.
Great.
We're here to bring you a quarantine serenade. Just what the doctor ordered. A few good tunes and a few good times, care of the Great American Songbook. I'm Elaine Wu. That's Bob Winter. We're
Hi.
Winter and Wu for some tunes for you. Don't you worry. We brought all of our own equipment. You never can tell. Oh, me too. Just a minute. Here we are. Nice place you got here, by the way. Maestro. I was oh so blue till you came along, just to make my life a wonderful song. You brought sunshine just to brighten my loneliness. Is it any wonder in my happiness I confess? Do I want you? Oh my, do I, honey? Indeed I do. Do I need you? Oh my, do I, honey? Indeed I do. I'm glad that I'm the one that found you. That's why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? Indeed I do. Now I'm glad that I just found you. That is why I'm always hanging around you. Do I love you? Oh my, do I, honey? Did I do? Honey, baby, sweetie pie, did I do? Oh, it's wonderful, it's marvelous that you should care for me. It's awful nice, it's paradise, it's what I want to be. You make me feel so glamorous. You can't blame me for feeling amorous. It's wonderful, it's marvelous that you should care for me. thank you. That last tune, of course, was by the Gershwin Boys and was made famous, you may not know, by Fred Astaire's big sister, Adele. Both of those tunes came from the 1920s, right in the middle of the roaring 20s, when things were good. No, not good, they were great, with no end in sight. But you know, as they say in physics, what goes up must come down. And so it was that on October 29th, 1929, the bottom fell out of the stock market and ensued a worldwide depression that lasted for the better part of 10 years. You know, it makes me sort of wonder, at what point when you're living history do you wake up at 1 month and say to yourself, golly, things are still pretty bad. Could it possibly go for 3 months? And then maybe you wake up one morning and it's a year later and you wonder, golly, things are still not good. Could it possibly go for, oh my goodness, 10 years? 10 years? I don't know. This sounds way too close for comfort right now. So I'm thinking that maybe the only thing one can do under these circumstances is for you to live each day one at a time as best as you can and have faith and hope that one day you'll wake up, you'll look out your window, and you'll see that rainbow at the end of the storm. When all the world is a hopeless jumble and the raindrops tumble all around, heaven opens a magic lane. When all the clouds darken up the skyway, there's a rainbow highway to be found. Leaning from your window pane to a place behind the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where sorrow melts like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me, somewhere over the rainbow. Bluebirds fly, birds fly over the rainbow. Why, oh why can't I? If pretty little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh why can't I? So that tune, of course, was Judy Garland's signature song, 1939, from The Wizard of Oz. And you know, wouldn't you know, it was just as things were letting up from the Great Depression. Okay, so now the days are getting longer. The thermometer says that the temperature's getting higher. What could it be? Well, in New England, it's got to be summertime. So we're going to do a tune written by the Gershwins for the great musical Porgy and Bess in 1935. It was a groundbreaking musical at the time. It featured an all-black cast. They called them African Americans at that time. And it premiered actually here in Boston at the Colonial Theater in September 1935 and then headed to Broadway the next month. It ran for only 124 performances and then it folded. So it was a box office failure. Perhaps it was just way ahead of its time. We now know from the vantage point of history that this was a groundbreaking musical event. Interestingly, less than 2 years later, George would die of a malignant brain tumor, but not before he and his brother Ira had written over 3,000 songs to the Great American Songbook. So, as a tribute to both of them and to the coming summer season, we sing for you George Gershwin and Ira Gershwin's Summertime.
Summertime and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Oh, your daddy's rich and your mammy's good looking. So hush, little baby, don't you cry. One of these mornings you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. Oh, but until that day, there's no one can harm you, with Daddy and Mammy standing by. But until that day, you're gonna rise up singing, and you'll spread your wings and you'll take to the sky. But until that day, there ain't no one can harm you, with Daddy and Mammy standing by. So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
Well, folks, I never stop being thrilled that I get to be here with the likes of the legendary Bob Winter. Oh yeah, you didn't know that? His unofficial first name is Legendary. And I'll tell you the truth, if I didn't sing another note today and I sat right down there with you, we'd all be in for a wonderful time, as did generations of music lovers who used to hear Bob when he was playing with the Boston Pops for 35 years, at the Bristol Lounge at the Four Seasons for 13 years, the Playboy Club for 16 years, where I bet he saw a thing or two, and he's really been everywhere with everyone. Maybe with luck he'll tell us about the time that Andre Previn was dining at the Four Seasons and he left his dinner party to come and sit down and listen to Bob play. And another time, Tony Bennett was bombing through the lobby, heard the great piano playing, and came in after he got back from his rehearsal and jammed some tunes with Bob. That must have been a night for the patrons. So, we're going to have a tune by Bob now. What you going to play, Mr. Winter?
Thank you, Elaine. Hi, everybody. I'm going to play a tune by Thomas Fats Waller, and this tune is going to be called Ain't Misbehavin', and you all know that there was the show in Boston, Ain't Misbehavin', and I was lucky enough to be the rehearsal pianist for the show during the run in Boston. So here it is, Ain't Misbehavin'.
Thank you, legendary Bob Winter. It was during the Depression that many of these songs came out, which is maybe says something for the power of music to elevate things even when they're at their worst. Some of the happiest, most beautiful, most moving songs that we know all came from those 1930s during the Great Depression. Here is a perky little tune that came out in 1936 by Sammy Kahn and Julie Stein. Saturday night is the loneliest night of the year.
Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week, 'cause that's the night that my sweetie and I would go dance cheek to cheek. I don't mind Sunday night at all, 'cause that's the night friends come to call, and Monday to Friday go fast, and another week has passed. But Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week. I sing a song that I sang to find memories I usually seek, until I hear you at the door, until you're in my arms once more. Oh, Saturday night is the loneliest night of the week.
Now we have a couple of tunes that were made famous by Frank Sinatra, Old Blue Eyes. First, Tenderly.
The evening breeze caressed the trees tenderly. The trembling trees embraced the breeze tenderly. Then you and I came wandering by, all lost in a sigh were we. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms opened wide and held me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly. The shore was kissed by sea and mist tenderly. I can't forget how two hearts met breathlessly. Your arms opened wide and closed me inside. You took my lips, you took my love so tenderly.
Well, folks, this next tune, it's associated with Frank Sinatra, but I don't know if you knew this, this is the official song of the American Academy of Dermatology. I'm kidding. I've got you under my skin. I've got you deep in the heart of me. So deep in my heart, you're really a part of me. I've got you under my skin. I've tried so not to give in. I said to myself, this affair never will go so well. But how can I try to resist when everyone knows so well? I got you, I got you, I got you under my skin. I'd sacrifice anything, come what may, for the sake of having you near, in spite of the warning voice that comes in the night and repeats in my ear. Don't you know, little fool, you never can win. Oh, use your mentality, wake up to reality. But each time I do that, the thought of you makes me stop before I begin. 'Cause I got you under my skin. Yes, I got you, and I want you. Ooh, I love you under my skin. We're doing torch songs now, so I'm going to sit up on my torch bench, cross my legs. This one is Cole Porter's Night and Day, written in 1932. Night and day, you are the one. Only you beneath the moon and under the sun. Whether near to you or far, it's no matter, darling, where you are, I think of you. Night and day, night and day. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic boom, in the quiet of my lonely room, I think of you night and day, day and night, under the heart of me. There's an oh such a hungry yearning deep in the side of me. And this moment far, you've heard an eclectic bunch of tunes from composers Harold Arlen, Yip Arberg, Julie Stein, Sammy Kahn, the Gershwin brothers. What compendium of the great American songbook would be complete without a little Rodgers and Hart?
It seems we stood and talked like this before. We looked at each other in the same way then, but I can't remember where or when. The clothes you're wearing are the clothes you wore. The smile that you were smiling then, but I can't remember where or when. Some things that happen for the first time seem to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or when. Some things that happen for the first time seems to be happening again. And so it seems that we have met before and laughed before and loved before, but who knows where or when? Who knows where or when?
Some of you may not know this, but Hoagie Carmichael was a failed lawyer from Indiana. His parents wanted him to go into law because they thought it was more reputable and profitable than writing music. Well, he showed them. When he was 28, he wrote this next tune, and it became one of the most recorded songs of all time. And we are going to have Maestro Bob Winter play it for you, Stardust. they always say when times are tough, you can get a lot of mileage with a smile. It may start with just some muscles on your face, but when you add music, well, pretty soon you'll have a smile in your heart. This next tune was written by Charlie Chaplin. That is always amazing to me because I didn't even know the guy could talk, much less do music.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile and maybe tomorrow you'll find the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness, although a tear may be ever so near. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life will be worthwhile if you just smile. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you'll bring on the rain, so stop your sighing. Get happy again, oh, when you're smiling. When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. Now everybody out there, and I know you're there, join me now. When you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing, when you're laughing, oh, when you're laughing, the sun comes shining through. But when you're crying, you'll bring on the rain, so stop your sighing. Get happy again, 'cause when you're smiling, when you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. The whole world smiles I'll definitely tell the management to double your pay. Right. We're coming down the home stretch, folks, and that's probably what the GIs thought as they were coming home from World War II in 1945. This next tune is an example of what lucky, wonderful coincidences sometimes occur. The next tune, Sentimental Journey, was written in 1941 by Les Brown, the band leader, and he was all set to record it and release it as a record when there was a huge musician strike. And that strike went on for 3 years so that no records could be made. And finally, when the strike was over in 1944, there was this huge backlog of songs that got recorded, including this one, which would have been nothing in 1941 in the midst of World War II. But in 44-45, when those GIs were coming home, this song, Sentimental Journey, became associated with this happy homecoming. Huge success! And it wasn't so bad either for the band singer, 17-year-old Doris Marianne Kappelhoff, otherwise and soon to be known as Doris Day. Gonna take a sentimental journey, gonna set my heart at ease. Gonna take a sentimental journey to renew old memories. Got my bags, I got my reservation, spent each dime I could afford, like a child in wild anticipation, long to hear that all aboard. 7, that's the time we leave at 7. I'll be going back to heaven. Come every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. What did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. Take it away, Bob. Let me off at the station for the please. Let me off at the station for the please. Oh, my old job's a waiting when I finish celebrating. This train's a going home train. This train now on to Washington, New Orleans, Kansas City, Sideways Junction, Goshen Falls, San Antonio City. All points east, west, south, and north, and up and down and back and forth. This train's a going home. This train, 7. That's the time we leave at 7. I'll be going back to heaven. Got every mile of railroad track that takes me back. Never thought my heart could be so yearning. Why did I decide to roam? Gonna take a sentimental journey, sentimental journey home. I said a sentimental journey home. I said a sentimental journey home. Well, everybody, we've come to the end of the road. How appropriate with Sentimental Journey. So we got one more tune. But what I want to say is that Bob and I look forward to coming to meet you and sing for you in person. Times are tough now. But this we want to illustrate, and we hope we've shown you that sometimes if you have a good outlook and a good tune, that you can get through just about anything. So we got a really good tune for you now. This last one that we're singing for you, was made famous by Dick Van Dyke in Bye Bye Birdie, and it's a song for all of us. Put on a happy face, Bob. Gray skies are gonna clear up. Put on a happy face. Brush off the clouds and cheer up. Put on a happy face. Wipe off that gloomy mask of tragedy. It's not your style. You look so good that you'll be glad you decided to smile. Pick out a pleasant outlook. Stick out your noble chin. Wipe off that full of doubt look. Slap on a happy grin. And spread sunshine all over the place. Yeah, put on a happy face. And if you're feeling cross and bitterish, don't mope or whine. Think of banana splits and licorice, and you'll be fine. I once knew a girl so gloomy, she wouldn't laugh or sing. She never listened to me, and now she's a mean old thing. So spread sunshine all over the place. Yeah, put on a happy face. Boom. Well, as Porky Pig used to say, blah, 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 that's all, folks. We got to be going. We got a few more stops to make, you know. We hope that this isn't goodbye, though, that maybe when times get better, that we'll see you live and in person. So we're not going to say goodbye. We're going to say au revoir.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Hasta la vista.
Arrivederci.
再见.
Cy Oliver. Oh, I don't know.
Okay, all right. And meanwhile, until we meet again, bye.